Sentiment analysis can provide a lot of useful information about what your customers are saying about your products and services. Today, I'd like to show a short example of performing sentiment analysis on customer feedback so you can automatically identify issues much sooner. Hello everybody, my name is Manya Mays and I'm a Business Analytics Technical Sales Specialist from IBM. I started using text analytics back in 1998. This presentation uses the car rental sentiment analysis that comes with the SPSS text analytics sample streams. The software I'm using is IBM SPSS Modeler version 18. The presentation does assume some basic experience of text analytics or sentiment analysis. The survey data that I'm using here comes from an Excel spreadsheet. And the data itself is a pretty small data set. You'll see it contains 3 columns here. So we've got information about the customer ID, whether they're a car owner or not, and what sort of feedback they gave the company about customer service. In the stream, you'll notice there's also a number of different modeling nodes that are used. In this example, we're going to make use of the sentiment-based categorization node, so the one I'm highlighting here. Now, in the node itself, I'm going to go ahead and run with the defaults, and we'll take the analysis from there. When the node runs, the interactive workbench will appear, and here you can see the text link analysis that's run, and it's automatically identified these patterns that are in the data. So we have the type 1 column with some patterns in here, and then also some of these patterns are related to additional patterns in the type 2 column. Now, the software automatically identifies the patterns using natural language resources in the background that are automatically provided with the software. Now, the first thing I'm going to do is sort by this type 1 column and basically have a look and see what I think might be important here. So the first thing I notice is that there's not really many patterns around budget or buying, but there's a lot more patterns here around customer support. Now, if you were looking at sentiment analysis of a hotel, you might expect to see things like comments about the service and bad smells and so on. So here you can look for things that might be a detractor, and then also again look at relationships between type 1 and type 2. If we look more closely at these customer support patterns, you'll notice that for some of them, customer support here, we've got 28 different documents where they're not actually mapped to anything else. So it could be that there's just no associated sentiment related to customer support in these documents, or maybe there is some sentiment that needs to be added to the library. You'll notice that there's also quite a lot of comments about customer support related to positive competence. We can see that the car renters thought that the customer service was professional and helpful and knowledgeable. Looking more closely at these customer support documents that have no corresponding type 2 pattern, we can display the documents themselves and look more closely at the information that's in them. So you can look for things like whether maybe there are some terms missing. It looks like there are not. If there are, you can add them to the libraries. You also want to make sure that you create your own library while you're doing this, so you don't overwrite what's automatically shipped with the software. And so if you're missing any sentiment terms, you can add them to the library, or maybe see if there's a rule that supports adding the sentiment. If you can use an existing rule, it's the best approach, since the more rules that you have, the more processing time it takes to run. And notice in the second document here in the display, let's say that walked is considered to be negative sentiment. We walked to the car assigned for us. So what we can do is actually add that to the library. So the first thing we'll do is actually go and create our own library. And to do this, we use the resource editor and click on resources and make resource template and call it something like let's see, we'll call it sentiment car survey. And notice in here, you'll see a lot of the different resources that come automatically shipped with the software and in different languages as well. We go back to the text link analysis window, then we're going to highlight the term walked and use the right mouse button here, and we'll add it to the type negative functioning. Now the windows here will turn yellow to indicate that you made a change, so you can go ahead and re-extract with either of these two windows here. If we select customer support again and look in the bottom window, click customer service and hit display, then now we can see that walked is red. And then we can sort the top window here by type 2 and look for negative functioning, for products negative functioning here in particular. Now we can see car and walked. So, you know, we can also see the smileys in the diagram here. So there's some really great visuals to help you see what's already in the software and help you understand you're adding information into the sentiment analysis and visualizing the results. So in this example, we just made one change here, but let's say that we're happy with the changes that we have made and the information that's here. Now we can go and click on this Generate Model button, and then now what we can do is go back now to our main modeler stream, and we can see that we have a results node that's been created for us. If we add this node into our categorization, connect it in here, and open it up, now we can see we've got all of the different categories that have been created, and then a number of automatic rules that are also run here. Now we can select to keep all of these or just the ones that we're interested in, and essentially run them against the data and be able to generate structure from what that unstructured information was. We can incorporate that into our predictive analytics, into our segmentation, and all sorts of analyses. So that's the way that you would add or make use of text or document customer feedback and incorporate that into your analytics. So that's just one way that sentiment analysis can help you provide some useful information about what your customers are saying. I'm Manya Mays from IBM, and thanks for watching.